Hey everyone, this is Mariano and welcome back to Maplewood ATL. That's how I name my garden. One of the questions I've been getting more and more lately is how I keep track of all the Japanese maples in my collection. As you can see, I have a lot of them. When I first started collecting, it wasn't really very difficult. I had a handful of trees and pretty much I knew where everything was. But over the years, as you can see, the collection has grown quite a bit. Today I have close to 350 Japanese maple cultivars here in the garden at Maplewood ATL, and between trees in the ground, trees in pots, seedlings, new acquisitions, a few losses along the way, there was simply no way I could keep everything straight from memory. So today I thought I would show you exactly how I keep track of my collection. In the last video right before this one, I show how I use my potting mix, and then I hinted about showing the spreadsheet and the mechanism that I use to keep track of all these wonderful varieties of maples that I have. So just keep in mind, this is not a fancy system. By all means, it's not expensive at all. Honestly, it's pretty much very simple, much simpler than most people expect. So let me get into my computer here and I show you what I'm talking about. Everything starts here with this Google Sheet. As you can see, this has become the source of truth for my entire collection. One of the reasons I use Google Sheets is because it's always available no matter where I am, and I can always access it from my cell phone. Whether I'm out in the garden or repotting trees, planting something in the ground, or shopping at a nursery, I can pull it up on my phone in just a few seconds. I actually use it in real time. If I repot a tree, I will often pull out my phone and enter the repotting date, like you see here, right away before I move on to the next project. That way I don't have to rely on my memory a few months later, for instance. And I also use it whenever I get new plants on the mail, right? A lot of my Japanese maples are purchased online, and when a shipment arrives, one of the first things I do is tag a tree. And this is what I use. Let me see if I can focus that. Yeah, so this is the metal trees or labels that I use. You've probably seen them, these labels throughout my videos. Every tree gets one of these as soon as it joins the collection. And just so you know, this is basically the brand of what I use. I get it on Amazon, so that you know, a lot of people have asked me where I get those from. So every tree gets one of these, and I literally just add a new row into this spreadsheet whenever I do that. Again, that way I don't have to rely on memory, especially since many cultivars can look very similar at certain time of the year. Once the label is attached, I immediately add the cultivar to the spreadsheet. So I can right click here and I can insert a row above, and you can see I have them all named alphabetically depending on the variety name. So for me, the label and the spreadsheet work together. The label tells me what the tree is when I'm standing in the garden, walking around, and the spreadsheet tells me everything else I need to know about it. All right. So also when I'm shopping for plants, like in real time at a nursery, the spreadsheet becomes even more useful. If I come across a cultivar that, for instance, catches my eye, I'll pull out my phone and check the spreadsheet to see if I already have it in the collection. Because once you get into hundreds of cultivars, it's very easy to forget what you own. I'm sure I'm not the only one. More than once I've been convinced that I found the cultivar that I needed, only to check the spreadsheet, and then I find that I already have it here at Maplewood ATL. Now let's look at how the spreadsheet is organized. The first column, as you can see here, is just the cultivar name or the variety. Every Japanese maple I own gets entered here. The second column is how many of them I have, the quantity. Most of the time I only have one specimen of a cultivar, right? But because I'm a collector, I like to have them all. But occasionally I have multiple trees and I track them here. Sometimes I might have more than one. The third column right here is where I keep the notes. This is probably the most useful part for me of the spreadsheet, because I can record things like when a tree was potted, or if a tree was planted in the ground, or when I just simply repotted a tree that needed new soil but it wasn't ready for a larger pot. Also, one thing that you notice is that under the quantity column, some of these trees have an X instead of a quantity. For me, here an X means that the cultivar is no longer part of the collection. Maybe the tree have died or it have been lost for one reason or another, but I intentionally leave those entries in the spreadsheet so that I know that I had given a try to a particular variety. A lot of people would just delete them, but I like having the historical record. You know, the spreadsheet sort of tells the story of the collection as well. It shows what I've added over the years, what has done well here, in my case in Atlanta, zone 8A, and unfortunately what didn't make it as well. And also I can see how the collection evolves and how many trees I have. Some trees get planted in the ground, most of them are in containers, as you've seen in my videos. I have a small yard here in town Atlanta. Some others get moved into larger pots. Some get relocated around the garden. Every year there are new additions, so I keep track of them. It gives me one place where I can quickly see everything. One thing I learned over the years is that the simpler the system is, the more likely I am to keep it updated. Otherwise, if it's difficult, I just wouldn't do it. I never spend hours managing these records. I just rather spend this time really enjoying my trees and walking in the garden. So whenever anything changes in the garden, I update the spreadsheet in real time, typically using my cell phone, and then I move on. Now, for years, this spreadsheet has worked really well. As you can see, it's pretty much up to date. It still works really well today. But recently, I've been experimenting with something new. Before I wrap up with this video, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek. So this is what I have on this second browser tab. This is something that I've been working on sort of like behind the scenes. It's still very much a work in progress. It has a link to actually this channel in YouTube, my Maples in the Garden channel. And you know, the spreadsheet remains the source of truth, but I wanted a way to easily browse and explore the collection without having to open a spreadsheet and make it look a little bit more efficient. So for those of you who may not know, my day job is as a solution engineer at a company called Cultivars, and we do a very powerful workflow automation type of platform, software mechanism. So my goal is to help customers solve problems creatively using technology and automation. So naturally, I started to think about how I could use those same skills to improve the way I manage my own Japanese maple collection. So for instance here, the result is in this application. It uses a spreadsheet as basically the source of truth, and it automatically enriches each cultivar with descriptions and reference photos. So for instance, instead of looking just at Arium, which is, I didn't have Acer Shirasawanum on my spreadsheet, but I connected it so every time that I get a cultivar, it will research the cultivar variety, and it even allows me to click on the variety name, and it opens a detail page of the variety with my notes and photos that basically it got from the internet, from different sites. Just a disclosure, these are not my photos. Sometimes it goes to nursery sites and get them, like Mr. Maple or Maplestone. These are basically from online sources. The cool thing is I can click on them and see what the cultivar is looking like. Again, these are not my cultivars or my varieties or specimens. And it has been a really fun project because it combines two things that I really enjoy: Japanese maples and technology. It's still evolving and I'm continuing to add features and improve it. If there's enough interest, I may do a separate video showing how I built this application using tines and how it connects back to the spreadsheet. So that's how I currently keep track of the collection here at Maplewood ATL. It's nothing revolutionary, just a Google sheet that has grown alongside the garden and now a little side project that is growing alongside it. I would love to hear from you, like how you keep track of your own collections. Do you use a spreadsheet? Do you use a notebook? Do you use plant tags? Do you use a dedicated app that I might not be aware of? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting Maplewood ATL. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care now.